Before we start off talking about measuring the rate of change, we need to understand the phrase rate of change, if not the word rate. So rate of change is used for comparing things. Mathematically, it means that it's a quotient or division between dependent quantity and the independent quantity. Here I have written some triangle structure, is it not? This is nothing but delta. It's read as delta. It actually means change in. So mathematically, rate of change is change in dependent quantity divided by change in independent quantity. Graphically, it means a slope. So what does a slope mean? That you'll understand in time. So first we'll have a look at an example. The milk production in India has risen from 55.6 million tons in 1991 to 92 to 187.7 million tons in 2018-19. Find the rate of increase in milk production. So now my question to you guys is, what is the dependent quantity over here and the independent quantity over here? The dependent quantity is either milk production, if not years. Either milk production, if not years. So the dependent quantity here is milk production, because we are trying to understand milk production for every year or this many years. The data has been handled in that way. You can see over here, for every year, the milk production has been, how much milk production was there, that data has been collected. So here, the dependent variable is production of milk and the independent is years. Now, let's find the rate of change. For that, we need to begin with finding change in dependent variable. What do you think it is? Is it addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? It is subtraction. 187.7 minus 55.6. And the difference is 1.132.1 million tons. Then change in independent quantity. So what is the change in independent quantity over here? The independent quantity is here. So it changed from 2000. It has changed to 2018 from 1991. So the difference happened to be 18 and 9 is 27 years. And now the rate of change will be equal to 132.1 divided by 27. Right? So 132.1 divided by 27. Approximately 4.9 million ton per year. So this is what the rate of change over here looks like. But of course, what does it actually mean? All this is good, but what does this value mean? That's the next question we'll try to understand. So basically, this value is telling that the milk production over those years has been on an average increasing by 5 million tons every year. That's what it means. Okay, what does that mean? So from 1991 to 2018, if I keep adding 5 approximately, I'll end up with this number. That's what average means, is it not? Right? So if I distribute across the difference between these two, each of them will get 5. That is, if I keep on adding 5, I'll end up with this number. Of course, here the difference is clearly less than 3, right, between these two. But somewhere along the line, the numbers will compensate and you will end up with this number. Let me show you a proof. So there is a topic called as arithmetic progression, that is to do with adding a particular number to previous number. Like here I wanted to add for every year I wanted to add 5, right? 4.9 to be specific. So let's do that. This program helps us, and the concept helps us do that. So the first value is 55.4. So the program will ask 55.6. 55.6. The first value. Common difference is how much is that we are looking at increasing, 4.9, and number of terms, that is how many years, 27, and the sequence is this. Can you see the sequence? 55.6, 60.5. So here year on year we are increasing 4.9. Okay, you can take the difference 100% between any two consecutive term, it would be 4.9. Other than this, that it has to do with something with a system and coding and all of that, the Python itself, so don't bother with that. But all of these numbers will be increased by a value of 4.9. okay, at last 27th year we can see it is approximately 187.9, and the answer is 187.7. There's a small difference that is very minute, but yes, you can see that we got almost the exact value. So that's what the rate of change helped us with. Basically, it is the average. So as a definition, rate of change is, it's a change, it's the average change in dependent variable, dependent quantity when there is a unit change in independent quantity. So what is this? What does this unit change mean? Let me make a note on unit change. Unit change means increasing or increase by 1 unit. So whenever they tell unit change, it means things have changed by 1 unit. Okay, that's what unit change means. A unit change, a single unit change. Okay, so again, keep all of this in mind, you will understand in time. So let's look at the graph of this milk production. So we have the data, so it's easy to plot, not a big deal. So I'm going to plot. This code is going to take this data from this particular file and it's going to show the result. So this is your graph. You can cross verify. So clearly we started around 55. Okay, let me show this so that you guys can increase till there. Okay, so you can I wanted that actually. Alright. So you can see over here, right? You can see the values over there. It is 55.6, right? And you keep on going across this line, you'll get the corresponding values. So this is the actual graph. Here it is, let me show what is the average and all of this concept add together with a graph. So I have a space for the graph. So clearly you can see over here, this is your starting and this is your ending point. If I join that, this is your rate of change. Mathematically, this is what it means, but of course, physically, you can see rate of growth is not that great, and it then became equal, and then it shoot up, right? So as a whole, this two section, point A and B, averaged with C and D, and we got a rate of 5 per year. 5 million ton of increase in production of milk per year. So this is how it works. If you understand, good. If not, don't worry. In time, we'll be understanding about the graph as well. But yes, this part of the topic, I hope you guys understood. It's very simple thing. If the independent variable increase by 1, how much will the dependent variable increase or decrease or whatever it may be, or no change? That is nothing but your rate of change. That's it. Again, I'll repeat. If the independent variable increased by a unit value, how much is the dependent variable going to increase. That is your rate of change. So please pause, have a look.